like, here's the deal. Like, I'm gonna make it work, and then we hashed out a plan. You know. But my daughter was just telling me the other day that she's somebody that's kind of a distant relative of ours. She has a child that's Griffin's age, and this girl is much older than Carly, about I don't let's see, about 10 years older, or maybe a little bit more. But it's her first child too, and has had, well, I guess hard or easy is all relative to your experience, but a easier time than what I was saying my little girls had. When you have a child at 16, like it's a long road, and she's traveled that and she has conquered it. But anyway, so this person had posted about how, well, I guess you never know when you have a child that your child's going to be in charge of you and they're going to dictate what they eat. And I guess it's a good thing that the doctors say she's fine, even though we eat at McDonald's every day. My daughter called me up. She was about to bust a gasket. She was like, how can people, like, your child's 3 years old. You're in charge of helping them make, this is what you're choosing. You're choosing to feed them death. You're choosing to, and I guess she had made a comment about it, Carly, something kind, but clearly in disagreement with that. And several people over there attacked my daughter. And it's people that want to justify their, okay, if you're feeding your child and raising them on the very things that's developing into the top 5 diseases killing this whole country, you're diseasing your child. That's child abuse. I mean, if you fed your child this meal and you knew immediately after they were going to have cancer or they were going to have heart disease, would you do it? No, because you would see the aftermath. But nutrition is cumulative. And nobody can see past their, I don't know, Candy Crush game on their phone. That's a thing, right? Or whatever people are playing now. People can't get past the noise. I'm designing my life to mute out and stop all negativity. All judgment, all we create our life. We are writing this chapter. Today I am still writing chapter 45. And I'll be dang if I will be driven around making the same choices that created chapter 25 in my life. Let's move forward and manifest new goals and hopes and dreams. I was talking to my son yesterday about how, there's a lot of thinking down here in the South that's just like certain things you just don't do. It still really plays out, especially like the older you get. It still churns in your mind, or just different thought processes that just is how it is. And guess what? It really isn't. It's just what we've been beat into to conformity. I'm not about that. I'm about freedom. I'm about freedom. And just like when I started off this chat, I was talking to y'all about how some people are not liking that I'm not in my regular box of serving them because I'm doing something for myself. I've spent my whole life doing that. And now guess what? I'm doing something different. Because I've realized over these past few years that being a martyr doesn't get you anywhere. All it does is steal your authentic shine from the world. And is that what you want to do? You think you're loving these people, but really you're stealing. I heard Will Smith's wife talk about that one day to her daughter on some little talk show. I saw a clip of it on YouTube not too long ago, and she was just saying how, when I do these things and I have goals and build myself up, I'm a better mom for you. and when I do these things and I have, ambitions for myself and I am setting these things and achieving them, I'm a better wife for your daddy. So sometimes you're tired. So guess what? Rest. People will be there when you get to them or not. Ideally, they'll figure it out themselves. You're waiting on your kids to be grown. You're waiting on somebody to tell you it's okay to do something for yourself. The reason I get up so early now is because for years I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I all I wanted was to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, it was my goal in life, and I could never do it. We could not afford it. And so I would get up that early so I could have everything done. So by the time I got up, my little girl and little boy, I could say, "Good morning, it's Magical Monday." And I could have the breakfast ready, and I could feel relaxed to sit down while other people in my house slept, okay? But that was my goal right then. And that's how I made it happen. But even back then, I didn't think I could take time from other people or ask for help or, I guess the point of the talk is goal setting. And now is the time. What are people waiting on? You live in North Carolina? Yeah, nobody in the South eats like this. Absolutely not. They don't even know how to pronounce the word vegan. They think it's vegan. What's a vegan? Where to get your protein? I don't know, Billy Bob. I guess under that rebel flag you got flying out behind you, jacked up 4-wheel drive, buddy. You're 46 and your husband has Alzheimer's disease. Your daughter is 12. Learning to do for myself. How old is your husband? Girl, Shell, you know how it is. I was like, you sound like me. She said, I know. She was from Alabama, I think. I never realized, like now I don't hear it, but I never realized I had an accent till I got on YouTube and people were like, what's she saying? And you know what? All you have to be is you. Somebody's just saying they learned something from me, and it's like, all you've got to do is shine your light to the world. You don't have to know everything or anything. Just know what you know. And the right people will grab onto that. I will never forget that text my daughter sent me the night before last when I sent her a little clip of my posing. And she said, that's amazing. You're the dopest person I know. Or the fact that she is raising a little baby on a plant-based whole food diet, and she gets a lot of backlash about that. But the very people that give her backlash about it, what's interesting is they're dying. They're dying. I had somebody yesterday on a picture on Instagram. It was just a picture. I was like, I had my hair pulled back. I was just showing some muscle gains. I was showing the midriff or whatever. And she was like, wow, how old are you? I'm guessing in your 50s because older women really need some fat on their body. And I was like, who the heck is this? And I looked, and she was engulfed in fat herself, and she was right. Every line and wrinkle on her fat was on her face was puffed out by fat. So what was she doing was hating on someone else that clearly doesn't eat at Hardee's drive-thru every day. Okay, that ain't my problem. But I just thought to myself how people really, this is why people like to watch Jerry Springer and that kind of stuff, because then they feel better about themselves. They love to see that kind of stuff or bring other people down, or what what kind of people are you hanging out with? Do they have any hopes and dreams? Are they riding your coattails? Because guess what? You get enough people on your coattails and it's heavy and it's bogging you down. And you're not flying quite as fast. And that's a problem for me. You know? I want to have people in my life and partners in my life that have hopes and dreams that they're manifesting. That we can both have excitement and enthusiasm for life. You know? And that's hard to find. So typically I hang out with myself. You're from Greensboro? I know where that is. There's a racetrack there, isn't there? You have no friends? You know what? I really have very few friends. I have, and really, like, friends I would say I have in my town, like, say Miss Jackie that used to do my hair. I never see her. And, like, so really, that's not real friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we'll always be friends, but I have several people that I'm friends with on social media, and that now, like, we text and stuff. And Jen is a good friend of mine. And but no, I don't really. My daughter is, you know, my best friend. She and I, we get it. We understand each other. You know, my mommy is a good friend of mine, and my son. And you know, I've had some significant others come and go in and out of my life, and I felt like they were friends too. And but the problem is when people aren't manifesting hopes and dreams for themselves, and you start feeling a tug on your energy and your light, you start feeling a dimming on your light, you better watch out. Cause this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, Elizabeth. You don't care. Elizabeth, where do you live? Because they come to a, somewhere close here. She has a lake house, I think. Your kids are your besties. Mine too. My son is, he gets a little annoyed with my chit chat, you know, but he's an almost 19-year-old dude. What do you expect, you know? It's best to walk alone. That is sometimes so true. That's right, Murphy, North Carolina. We were going to get together a long time ago when I first met her on social media. What y'all don't realize about me is I don't really come out of my little box here very often. I really don't. Anyway, so I guess I'll go, but I just wanted to talk about that, about when you are trying to set goals for yourself and people don't want you to do that. People don't. Okay, so don't talk to them. My mother and father do not know I'm doing this competition. And Christopher has to work, which is ridiculous. I'm like, any other time if you was tired, you'd try to lay out of that job, but okay. But I'll tell you who's really excited is my little girl and Griffin. He's like, I'm going to yell, Granny, go Granny, go, Granny. And that's exciting, you know. That is really, and my daughter's like, you're really doing this thing. Like, that is a thing you're doing. Like, you are getting up there and you have made these gains, and like, Mom, that is something. And you know, showing her that you can really map your life out. Because for many years I lived in a mentally and physically battered situation. And that's what I taught her was acceptable. And even now, to this day, she and I, we have a tendency to take a lot of crap off people. But I'm working on that. And so is she. But to show her that new things are possible, and the older I get and the more she starts noticing other people her mom's age that are dying, the brighter my light shines. I said to her, so I'm going to continue this workout regimen, and imagine in just a little over 4 years when I'm 50, all the possibilities, you know. change is possible, you know, and it